Hello and welcome to this restorative yin class. We are going to begin in a reported reclined butterfly with our bolster or our pillow on an incline. So anything kind of long and squishy that you have at home. And then place one end of it on a block or another cushion or something that you have that can raise the earth up so that it's kind of coming on a downhill slope like this. And if it's quite short, like mine is, you might also want to have a pillow handy so that you can support your head once you come back. So set it up for yourself and then bring the very base of your tailbone to the base end of your pillow as you then recline your spine along that bolster. And this is where your pillow, your extra pillow might come in handy if you need that head and neck support. Feel free to adjust and wiggle as you need here. Maybe you will need to lift and scoop the tailbone down and forward towards your heels to create some length in the lower back. And then as you can see here, I've got the soles of my feet together and my knees falling out wide. And feel free to slide a pillow or something squishy under each of the knees if you need some extra support there. And then with the arms, you may like to bring them out into a T shape with the palms facing the sky. Or if that feels a little too open and vulnerable for you, then bringing one hand to the heart and one hand to the belly is a really nice option to kind of cocoon yourself a little more here. So figure out the most optimal position for you. And then from here, I invite you to mindfully close down the eyes or soften the gaze. Noticing that shift from being in the outside world to focusing inward on the physical felt sensations of being in your body in this moment. Allowing all the parts of you to settle here as you give yourself permission to rest and restore for the next 20 minutes or so. Now, our class today is themed around letting go or releasing. And in Chinese medicine, which the yin yoga practice is associated with, the practice of letting go and releasing is linked to our lungs and our large intestine organ. And if you think about the role that the lung and the large intestine have in the body, it makes total sense why these would be the organs that we focus on when we are thinking about letting go. The lungs, from a breath perspective, require us to exhale and let all of the air out, releasing the old stagnant air and energy from in the body. And the large intestine plays a crucial role in the elimination of our food waste. Once we have absorbed all of the nutrients from the food and it's been transported around the body, the large intestine, along with the colon, do the work of removing the waste from our body. And so as we lie here and breathe, I invite you to become aware first and foremost of your lungs, sitting within the mid-torso on either side of your chest, safely guarded by the rib cage that wraps around the torso. And notice here how the lungs just effortlessly do their job, breathing your body for you. Taking in the fresh, new oxygenated air, and then enabling that release and that letting go of old, stagnant air. And then becoming aware now of the large intestine, sort of within the center of the belly region, closer to the pelvis. Breathing into this space here, noticing any sensations or not might occur. Beautiful. And now becoming aware of your breath again. And coming with me as I guide you through about 4 rounds of breath. With every round, we'll inhale for about 4 counts. And then with our exhale, each round, we'll extend the number of counts. So we'll exhale first for 5, and then for 6, and then for 7, and then for 8 counts. And by elongating our exhale, we're encouraging that release. And we're also dropping deeper into our parasympathetic nervous system, that rest, digest, and repair mode. As you're ready, breathing all of the air out through your mouth. And then inhaling through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Final round here. And exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a nice deep breath in. And then sighing it out. So nice, Yogi. Okay, really gently and carefully now, we'll simply roll to one side so that we can just kind of push that bolster out of the way and the block and the cushion and any other props you have supporting you. And then we'll come to lie fully outstretched on our back. Finding now a banana shape with the body. So we're going to walk the feet out towards the bottom right corner of our mat. And you may even like to cross the left foot over the right here for a little more intensity. And then we're going to kind of curve the upper body in the same direction. And you can see now why this is called banana asana. Because we kind of create that C curve banana shape with our body. Now with the arms, you can keep them alongside you, or you may like to take them above the head, folding opposite elbows here. I don't have a lot of space where I am. You can also extend those arms long to enhance that C shape a little bit. So find the expression of this position that feels best for you in this moment. And then really weight down through your left glute and hip. So let that left side of your body be heavy so that you're not rolling too far onto that right side. The focus is instead here on extending through the left side of the body, finding that lateral stretch. If you like here, close down the eyes once again or soften that gaze as we gently stretch and lengthen the tissues, the muscles, the fascia of the left side of the body. In particular here, creating lots of space for that left lung to really breathe here. So again, you might like to bring your attention and your awareness to your breath, to that exhale and that idea of letting go and releasing. I'll just rest here in silence for about a minute or so. I'll let you know when it's time to move. Taking 2 or 3 more rounds of deep belly breath here, stimulating that left lung meridian. As your next inhale arrives, simply move the body back to that neutral spine position, lying in Shavasana for just a beat, observing any differences that you feel from one side of the body to the other. A big piece of what makes yoga is these moments of reflection to develop our self-awareness, be able to observe what's going on in the body and the mind, and then to respond with compassion. From here, as you're ready, yogis, we'll set up for the second side of our banana asana. So walking the legs off to the left corner of your mat now, perhaps crossing that right ankle over the left, and then curving the left shoulder towards the left side of the mat. So creating that nice C shape, hands alongside the body, or maybe holding opposite elbows above the head. Perhaps you want to reach those arms long. This time anchoring through the right glute and hip and focusing on that length through the right side of the body here. Taking those nice deep breaths in as we stimulate the right lung. And allowing that release, that letting go on the exhale. Again, softening in here. Allowing time and gravity to do most of the work for you as you surrender to the release. Taking the final big belly breath here. And then gently returning back to your center, to your Shavasana. Again, taking a moment. You may like to find a little rock and sway across the pelvis here, just finding that release in the lower back. And then from here, as you're ready, again, gently roll to one side, spend a moment on that side. Feel pushing yourself up just to set up for a cobra pose. So we're going to come onto the belly, and you may like here, yogis, to take your pillow or your bolster horizontally just underneath where your rib cage ends. So kind of just at that upper abdominal area. And you can kind of experiment, and if it doesn't feel good, feel free just to move it out the way. But you can slide it under there, and this is going to add that extra bit of stimulation. I'm just going to turn to face you a little bit more. That extra bit of stimulation for the large intestine region. So either place the pillow under or not. And then elbows to floor here, forearms are parallel. And you can just really release through the glutes, maybe find that little rock through the hips again as you extend the legs long. Gently tucking the chin to find length through the neck here as we look down the bridge of the nose or close the eyes. And if in this position your lower back is telling you that it's not happy, then one option is to lower the head down, perhaps stacking the forehead on stacked fists or hands. And if that's still too much, then if you have that pillow underneath, then remove that out the way as well. So find your option. Noticing here how as we breathe, there's that little extra bit of pressure and feedback from either the bolster or the earth below you. As we breathe in and the abdomen expands out, we get that pressure as we stimulate this large intestine, encouraging that digestion, that detoxification, that moving through and releasing of things that the body no longer needs. So again, settle in here, soften. Allow the pose to work its magic as we release shoulders away from ears and soften through the jaw, finding the breath. What about one more deep round of breath here? And then an option, yogis, before we release fully is to press into the palms and lengthen the arms as we lift up into seal. Just for a beat, really opening through the chest, expanding the lungs as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, gently lowering the body back down, stacking the hands on top of each other, forehead to the backs of the hands, and swaying out through those hips. Beautiful. From here, just rolling to one side, sliding that bolster out, and we get to come back to lie on our backs. This is a knee-friendly yin class, so we're not doing anything tonight that requires us to be on our knees. So instead of taking a traditional child's pose, we're going to find a variation in a reclined position. We've got a few options here. The first is to bring the knees together and the feet nice and wide. And then to reach the hands up above us as we really anchor the lower back into the floor. And what we're doing here by bringing the knees together and anchoring the lower back to the floor is we're creating that spreading of the lower back that would still happen in a traditional child's pose, but without that pressure on the knee. And then the second option here is more of an embryo, a reclined embryo variation, in which we bring the knees together and lift the feet off the floor, and then gently hug the knees in towards the chest with our hands. And we don't want to grip and pull too tight here, yogis. We're just kind of adding a gentle bit of pressure with the hands as we work those knees, those thighs in towards the abdomen. Again, just creating that little bit of pressure and stimulation on the intestine. If you're in this little embryo shape, you may like to perhaps draw some mini circles with the knees in a clockwise position here so that we stimulate that direction of our digestion. When you feel ready, you can find some stillness in the pose, close down the eyes. Find your breath as you relax the shoulders down. 2 more rounds of deep belly breath. Beautiful. And then releasing that down. So feet quite wide here, perhaps just a bit wider than your mat. Arms come out into a T, and then we'll simply tick-tock or windshield wiper those legs side to side, encouraging a little bit of blood flow into the hip. And our final pose before Shavasana is a reclined twist. And we've got a few options here, yogis. The first is simply just to let those knees drop down. Perhaps you want to place a bolster in between the thighs and stack the shins. Or if you'd like a little more intensity here, we can kind of find a V position with the legs. So that back foot is tucking in next to the left glute. And then the front leg is just bending in, that foot coming in front of that left knee. And you can perhaps hold that left foot with the left hand. Gaze can be towards the direction of the bent knee, or maybe you'd like to turn it towards the foot, increasing that twist in the upper cervical and thoracic space. And here we're stimulating both the lung and the large intestine meridians. And if you find that beautiful, big, deep belly breath once again, you're going to get even more here. You're going to encourage that flow of what in Chinese medicine we call qi, or in yoga in Sanskrit we call prana, that life force energy that flows through us. When we breathe deep and open up these meridians, these channels, we encourage that fresh flow into areas that might have become blocked or kind of a little bit slow or sluggish over time. Beautiful. One more breath on this side. And then gently, gently returning back to center, finding that wide sit up with the feet as you again tick-tock side to side. And then when you're ready, setting up for the second side of your twist. So option 1 is just let the legs fall. Option 2, which is a little less intense on the lower back, is that stacking of the knees with the bolster in between. Or option 3, it'd be a little easier for you to see me on this side, is to tuck that right foot in next to the right glute. The front leg is just bent with that foot in front of that knee, and then maybe you want to hold that foot and draw it in. Again, find a position for your neck that works here as you deepen that breath, opening through the shoulders, the jaw, the forehead. One more round of breath. Gently coming back to center. And then taking any final movement, stretches, or poses that your body is asking for here, yogis. Maybe it's a little waterfall. Maybe you want to circle through the arms and the legs, or shake it all out, finding that little somatic release, doing whatever feels good. And then setting up for your Shavasana. And here you may like to slide a pillow or a bolster underneath the knees. If you have a blanket, perhaps you'd like to place it on top of your hips, creating that little bit more sense of safety and weightedness. You can also place a pillow there, that can also feel quite nice. Allowing the shoulder blades to melt down the back here as we tuck the chin and lengthen the neck. Hands alongside the body, palms to sky. And then again, softening or closing the eye. As we take a big, deep collective sigh. So breathing into the belly. And then sighing it out through the mouth. Bringing your attention and awareness back to the lungs and the large intestine. Imagine these organs being encased in a golden light. Sending them gratitude for all that they do to allow the release and elimination in your body. And then let that visualization go and just bask here in your Shavasana, allowing the practice to integrate. Feeling free to stay here for as long as feels good. When you're ready to move, do so mindfully and easefully. Take in some beautiful fresh water. Thank you so much for practicing with me, yogis. It is always a pleasure. If you'd like more from me, more wellness rituals that can be woven into your everyday life for sustainable self-care, then come and check out my offerings at alexbella.com or come and connect with me on Instagram at alexbella. Have a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, and I will see you soon.